Namaste. Today I am going to start a new series which hopefully I'll continue in the days to come. I'm going to talk about various aspects of marriage matching. The subject of matching horoscopes for marriage is very extensive. There are there are chapters, particular chapters separately written in about it in various traditional books, traditional literature on this topic, and there are n number of conditions. For someone who is getting into it for the first time, this may seem very daunting because there are so many conditions, and honestly, one may wonder, uh, can one really have a muhurta for marriage satisfying all these conditions? The short answer is no. You cannot have a muhurta which will satisfy all the conditions. I don't think it is humanly possible. Okay. But what is important is that through these conditions, the learned acharyas who have written on this topic are trying to give us an indication of what exactly you should do, when you match horoscopes for marriage. What do these conditions really mean? What are they adding in marriage? And that is the approach you should have. Okay. And yes, there are certain conditions which are definitely something which has to be followed for sure. Okay. uh, so I'll be talking about something. So my idea is to keep very short videos, maybe not more than 10 to 15 minutes, and not discuss more than two or three criteria. That way it will be easier for you to assimilate these things and understand them, digest them. That is more important. Second important thing that I wanted to say is that uh, please don't reject or accept horoscopes just basis the conditions that I'm telling you, because as I said, there's a whole lot more out there. So just understand, take baby steps, and understand each conditions on its own merit. Okay, see how it is matching in various stars. What is it bringing? You may check it in, apply it to the horoscopes of couples, of friends or relatives, and see, where it is present, where it is not present, and what impact it is having. Okay, that would be the right approach towards imbibing this knowledge. Okay, so with that caveat, and I'm starting with very simple ones, which are basis nakshatras. Anyone who knows the ABC of Jyotish, who knows the 27 nakshatras, in some cases 28 is also considered, they would find it very easy and straightforward to apply these things. Okay. So the very first one. Now, in North, the other aspect is there are differences in how horoscopes are matched in North versus South India. Okay, there are entirely different ways of looking at it, different conditions which are looked at. Okay, in North there is this eight Ashtakuta, or the eight kutas, which are very very popular. Okay, adding up to overall I think 36, 36 as a number, and out of that it's like a point system, how much it is. People just look at the overall point without understanding the intricacies of each one of that. So this one is not exactly the eight kutas, though one of the conditions I'll be talking is included in the eight kuta. So it is not like I'm following that process entirely. I am including that also over a period of time. I'll be including almost all of those eight kutas in different ways, and then we will separately discuss that as well. Okay. This first one is basis. The nakshatras are classified either as male or female. Very simple. Not even there is no napumsakalinga or eunuch in this. Okay, this is just classified as male and female. Okay, though the author who has written it also says that there are other learned pundits who say that there are three different types, and there's a different classification from nakshatras. But his own belief, the acharya who's written it, is that it is only male and female, and it's a very simple thing. So you have certain nakshatras classified as male and certain classified as female. Okay, just instead of just having this as a list of nakshatras, it would be interesting to see, can we see what these nakshatras mean. Okay, and I have another video. Maybe I may put a link in on this over here. um, which deals with the different one classification of nakshatras called Dhruva type of nakshatras, Dhruva, Charas, Ugra, and so on and so forth. There are seven different types, okay, which are correlated to the 7 weekdays, okay. That is largely used to determine what sort of activities are best done in different types of nakshatras. But keeping that in mind is actually very useful for understanding all these various classifications, because I have generally seen that there is some trend, okay, and in fact many times they say, these is nakshatras, and all the lagu nakshatras, okay, which is a type of nakshatra, are part of, say, the female type or male type or some other type, like that. So for example, here one trend which I see is more of the fact that you have the nakshatras which are around Gandanta. So you have Ashlesha and Maga. Ashlesha is in Cancer and Maga is in Leo. And Cancer is a water sign, Leo is a fire sign, and the junction between the fire and water signs is called a Gandanta. And there are three such Gandantas because there are three such fire and water sign conjunctions. Okay, and as you can see, you have Ashlesha and Maga, which is forming one of the Gandanta pair. Ashlesha in the water part and Maga in the fire part. Then Ashwini and Revati, which is another Gandanta pair, and then you have Jeshta and Mula, another Gandanta pair. So another one way of remembering this is, okay, all the three Gandanta pairs are included over here. Okay, and now in some cases some nakshatras around them also. For example, before Ashlesha you have Pushya, so Pushya is included. After Mula you have Purva Shada, Uttarashada, and Shravana. So in a way, from Jeshta onwards, the five nakshatras, including Jeshta, consecutive nakshatras are included. Jeshta, Mula, Purvashada, Uttarashada, and Shravana. Okay. Then you have Swati and Vishaka, which are actually covering Libra and part of Scorpio. Okay, major part of Libra and part of Scorpio. And then you have Purva Bhadrapada and Uttara Bhadrapada, which are basically covering Aquarius and Pisces. Okay, so these are the male nakshatras. All the other nakshatras which are not male are female. This is a list over here. Okay. Um, I have put this kind of map over here. I like I done in my first video on the nakshatras, where I explained the dhruva, etc. types. Okay. Similarly, I have made a map over here. The orange is the male nakshatras, and the pink is the female nakshatras. Okay. And as you can see, one thing which stands out for you is, you see the signs of Jupiter, okay, and a little bit before and after the signs of Jupiter are the male nakshatras over here, and large parts of the signs of Sun and Moon, they are also included, and little bit of Venus over here. The signs of Mercury are entirely female. Okay, in Jyotish we also divide the planets in terms of masculine or feminine, and Jupiter is considered the most male. In fact, he's considered more male than even Sun and Mars. Okay, he's ultra male, you may say. Okay, so Jupiter is male. Mercury is generally considered as a Napumsaka or eunuch, but here, since there is no separate Napumsaka category, we are consider you can say that it is more feminine. Okay, Venus has one sign which is Taurus, its even sign entirely feminine, while the male sign of that is odd sign, odd is also male in nature, is having large part as a male this thing. Okay, the Mars's signs are almost equally divided. Okay, because as I said, there's Gandanta over here, so hence you have a bit of male and a bit of female over here. Okay, now what is the result of it, and what is the effect of this particular type of matching chart? The thing is that if husband is male and wife is female, that is the best result. All other results are not good, not conducive for a good married life. If this matching is not there, what happens? The happiness in married life and wealth influence are affected to that much extent. But you know what? You should take this not like as a dictum, because there are many. I can bet you, if you go and match charts, you'll find many cases where it is not matching at all. You may have husband wife both male, or husband and wife both female in terms of the type of nakshatras, and yet they are having a married life, decent married life, not really much to complain about. But what you should understand is this is like a negative factor. In Jyotish, you have to balance things. Okay, how many negative factors are there? How many positive factors are there? Okay, so that is the way you got to see the positive and negative. Then you see, okay, it's not like they balance each other out, but it's like, okay, the positive help you to live life more easily, and the negative impede you. Okay, and then there are certain conditions which are absolutely have to be considered. It's not like, it's very important. They are much more important, critical, that to be considered. This would not really fall in that realm of things, but it is an important thing to understand. Okay, and let's understand psychologically what is it really talking about. You see, uh, even though we are living in a modern, society, and where women definitely have much more rights that they used to have in the earlier societies, and women go out and work and they are quite independent. Okay, yet we all know that to an extent the traditional way of how uh, uh, in a couple, especially how a husband behaves and wife behaves over a period of time, that does factor in. Okay, how the society has a way of looking at things which won't change. Even though things are gradually changing, it may not change wholly. So it is important that it is still important that a husband goes out and works. Okay, and ensures that the family is provided for, and largely many of the women still take care of the household, and take care of the children, and the domestic aspects are under their domain. Okay, uh, so with this kind of mindset is what this particular matching is. So the husband has to go out. If you have to earn, you have to go out, you have to be aggressive, you can't be very timid. Okay, and similarly, if the wife is too aggressive and the husband is timid, then that may cause friction. Okay, if not between them, at least between them and the society to some extent. So hence this point about marital happiness and wealth affluence is mentioned, because as I said, the husband has to go out and earn, hence wealth and affluence. And marital happiness, because once they come home, they have to sort of, you see, uh, marriage is about a give and take, right? And at times one has to compromise for the other. Sometimes the husband has to compromise for the wife, sometimes the wife has to compromise for the husband. So that give and take has to be there, and that is why it's better that they are not having the same energy. Okay, if both have the same sort of, if both are timid or both are too much aggressive, that may cause a bit of friction. So that is where you have to understand this. So it's important that when you look at marriage matching, you look at things more in psychological manner of how it is impacting the lives of people. With that said, let me move on to the second one, and this is the last one I'm going to discuss about. This is a very well-known matching. It's called the Gana Matching, and this is also part of the Ashtakuta, the eight kutas basically. Okay, 36 gun, what is being called. This part of that, and this one in fact has the that is it 36 or 45? I'm not sure. Someone can correct me on that. It's basically, you have eight different conditions, and progressively each conditions at different number of points in the weightage system. The first condition is one point, second condition is 2 point, and the eighth condition is 8 points. So the eighth condition is most important. I think it is Nadi dosha. That is the most important. This one is the sixth. So it is the third most important in that guna matching, guna milap technique. Okay. So here we have Deva, Rakshasa, and Manusha. These are the three categories. You see some color coding I've done. This color coding, again, if you refer back to my lecture on Nakshatra of Dhruva and etc. other types, the first lecture on that topic, you will clearly understand what I'm talking about over here. Okay, so these are the Deva nakshatras, these are the Rakshasa nakshatras, and these are the Manusya nakshatras. These are the three main gana. Okay, and in Upanishads there are stories about Deva Manushya Gana, Deva Manushya and Rakshasas. They went to Prajapati and they asked for an Upadesha, and they got the Upadesha called the, okay, and each of them interpreted the in a different way. So Devas interpreted the as Dhamma, Rakshasa interpreted the as Daya or mercy. Okay, Dhamma means to control, have sense control. Okay, because Devas tend to party a lot. Indra, there are Apsaras and all that. So they have, it's about having sense control. Okay, Rakshasas, they lack mercy, they lack compassion. So hence Daya, and Manushas is Dana, because Manushas are very greedy. They want to hoard wealth. Okay, even though they're going to die and nothing is going to get transferred to their bank account in Swargaloka, yet they are very greedy for wealth. So dana means you donate as much as you can. So that's where I'm just giving you a Puranic and an Upanishadic reference to this. So Deva is, these are the nakshatras of Deva, these are of Rakshasa and Manushya. What trends do we see over here? The ones I marked pink are what is called Mridu nakshatras. Okay, these are related to Venus as a weekday. Okay, Anuradha, Mrigashira, Revati. So largely you see the pink over here. Only one chitra is falling under Rakshasa. Then these ones which are sort of in the creamish color are what is called Chara or Chala nakshatras. These come under Moon as a planet. And so three of them are over here and two of them are in Rakshasa. So you can see the Mridu and Chara nakshatras are entirely divided between Deva and Rakshasa, with large proportion under the Deva. Then all the three Lagu nakshatras, in fact, in the literature it was clearly mentioned, the three Lagu nakshatras are part of Deva. So this is Jupiter. So you can see three first trade benefics: Jupiter, Jupiter, Venus, and Moon. Okay, Mercury is better benefic than Moon, but here Moon is being given the prominence. Okay, I think Moon is considered probably more important for a marriage than Mercury. Okay, that's probably could be the case. Mercury actually falls over here under Rakshasa, Kritika and Vishaka. Why? Because Mercury, there is a bit of greed and bit of lack of compassion. Okay, the Dikpala of Mercury, Buddha, is actually Kubera, and Kubera is not really a Devata. Kubera is actually an Asura. Okay, so and these nakshatras, Kritika and Vishaka, are very very sharp nakshatras. The lords are of both have Agni in them. Kritika's lord is Agni and Vishaka's lord is Indragni. Yeah, another thing which I often repeated: do remember the devatas of this nakshatra. Then you get a lot of connections going in your mind. Yeah, why Kritika and Vishaka are part of this. Okay, like that. Then you can see this Ashlesha, Jyeshtha, Mula. One, these are all and Magha, these are all the Gandanta nakshatras. You've seen that in the previous case also. Okay, these four are clearly the Gandanta nakshatras, and out of these three, the blue ones fall under Saturn's domain, which is called Tikshna nakshatras or Daruna nakshatras. And this red one, Magha, is under Mars's domain. But large part of Mars is in Manushya, which is Purva Falguni, Purva Ashada, Purva Bhadrapada, and Bharani. So four of them are over here. And Mars is very important for humans. Mars denotes Agni, and what humans have as you may say trump card is a control over fire. That is what made humans go up the value chain as far as all the species in this world are concerned. That differentiated them. And today, if you see everything, all the modern technologies have the Agni element in them. Okay, so this is the blessing of Agni, and yes, probably that is why the Agni or Mars is linked to Manushya. And then you have Sun. Sun is again another Agni planet. So if you think about it, link Agni to Manushya, that would be a very quick way. See, my job is not just to give you a list. You may find this probably on your own somewhere. My job is also to help you memorize this and keep this in mind. Okay, I also want to memorize it. Okay, I don't have all these things memorized. These things help me memorize. It's like a mnemonic in my mind. Okay, so I can see, okay, some patterns over here that way. Okay, so if you want to quickly remember, most of the all the Mars, almost all of the Mars and all the Sun related nakshatras are under Manushya. Okay, again, if you're confused why I'm talking Sun, Moon, Mars, please I request you see that video on nakshatras. You may not even have to see the entire part of it. I discuss these things very much in the first half or first one third of the lecture. Okay, so you can go and have a look at it. So this is how this categorization has happened. Now let's look at quickly the results of this. Okay, the best thing you want is the husband and the wife should fall in the same gana. Both should be the deva, both should be either rakshasa, or yeah, both should either, if rakshasa, both should be rakshasa, that is good. Okay, or both should be manushya. What it means is that their wavelength matches. Okay, this is about the mental wavelength, the what you consider as important. I had given you some idea. Devas have some problem with sense control. Rakshasas have some problem with showing compassion, mercy. Okay, imagine if the husband or say the wife is Rakshasa and the husband is a Deva, which is not a very good thing at all. Then the wife is completely lacking compassion while the husband is over emotional and compassionate or whatnot, and he gets hurt and she is not even feeling anything about it, and that doesn't foretell a good married life. That is a friction point. Okay, again, while this has very high level in the Guna Milap system. Okay, 6 points. I'll show that also. Do I have it? Oh, I do. Oh, yeah, I have it. I have it over here. 6 points. So you can see same. If both are same, 6 points. And the other things, if husband is Deva and wife is Manusha, that also, while it is lesser affection, this is very good affection, lot of affection. So this is basically showing the affection. Please see the difference. The other showed largely marital happiness and about wealth, but this is about affection. How easily they are able to share each other's emotions, share each other's feelings. If both are Rakshasa, they may still have, because of that, good affection, because okay, each of them respects, this guy is tough. You have a tough husband and a tough wife, okay, and they get along fine, I guess. Okay, so it's like both are Teflon coated. So you don't want one Teflon coated and one, like a soft cushion. Then it's not going to help. The other thing is, if husband is Deva and wife is Manusha, that's also okay. That's considered pretty fine. And the reverse is also pretty much fine. It's given 5 points, just one less. That's okay. But both are a bit lesser than the same to same combination. All the rest of the combinations are bad. I mean, don't ignore this one. You consider this as zero. If it's a Rakshasa Deva combination, or if it's a Rakshasa Manusha combination between husband and wife, either ways, it is not good. If it is a Deva Rakshasa, you know what happens when Devas and Rakshasas come together? They fight. They can't they can't keep quiet. They have to quarrel with their opinions are way different from each other. Okay, as I said, one is like, let's have a good time, let's be happy and all that, and the other person is like very tough. We need to teach this person a lesson. He's not been very good with me, that way. So it's always a constant friction between them. And if it's Rakshasa and Manusha, it is the result is given is fear of death. Okay, this is even worse, I guess, than Deva Rakshasa. Okay, so this is all I wanted to share today. I will not, dwell more on this. I'll be coming back soon with some more similar matching techniques. Okay, do apply this in many charts and learn from it. Again, don't accept or reject charts just because these particular matching criteria were found to be working. Okay, be careful. There are a lot of other factors, but understand these factors thoroughly. Okay, till we meet next time. Thank you very much. Namaskar.